Good morning, everybody. My name is Bailey Cooper. I'm a trainer here in Austin, Texas for Eric Lofholm, and I want to thank you for joining me this morning and starting our day. And this call is definitely better than a cup of coffee. I've been tuning in here since we started it in January, and it's had a tremendous impact on my mindset and my performance. So today I want to talk to you guys about 6 steps to creating inspiration and momentum in your life. I've had several examples of how this plays out, but I was recently reading a book by Don Miguel Ruiz. He's the guy that wrote the book, The 4 Agreements, and the book is called Beyond Fear, and it was kind of an out-of-body experience. Now, the gist of it is it's pretty powerful, but you're either in a state of love or fear, and I encourage you to get that book and to read it. There's some excellent wisdom in that series, but the first step to creating inspiration in your life and to generate momentum is you got to identify the problem. And like 12-step fellowships, their first step is identifying the problem. And Eric teaches us that the mind has the ability to solve any problem that we give it. So what I do is I try and find a quiet place. I relax and breathe. And I like to document. I like to write things down. So I encourage you to identify the problem and grab a piece of paper and just write out whatever's bothering you. And then the next thing that I like to do is I like to read it carefully and out loud. And by analyzing the problem, you can kind of put it in perspective. And is the problem really insurmountable, or is it just a figment of my imagination? Is it a paper tiger? And then the next step is to write out all the possible solutions and then read that out loud. And so whatever problem you have, whether you're in college and you're having a hard time finding time to study, this is what my family and I are going through with my wife. She's taking multiple college classes, interning, as well as we have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. And, recently doing this exercise really puts things in perspective. Yesterday I heard on the call something very similar where I forget the gentleman's name, forgive me, who led the call, but he talked about having different work schedules and having a young child and juggling, responsibilities. And that can be difficult and very stressful. And that's a seeming insurmountable problem where it can be a lot of stress, and there's a lot of fear attached to that. But when you write it out and you write out possible solutions, brainstorming can really take away the force of that fear that it has on your life. So step 2, Tony Robbins talks a lot about this, is changing your emotional state. And just a moment in time, you have the ability to change your state, whether it be visualizing, positive affirmations. But it's important to have a positive state to create inspiration and momentum in your life. All you really have is you. So you got to accept and love yourself. So eliminate negative self-talk. Stop being so critical of yourself. Stop being judgmental of the world and the people about it. You are perfect just the way that you are. And you're destined for success if you believe that you're destined for success. Likewise, you are destined for failure if that's what you believe. So train yourself to be an optimist. Always support and love yourself first. Because if you don't, who is? So things I like to do is I listen to affirmations and I repeat them out loud. There's several different YouTube affirmations that I like. And There's mantras that you can read. But what it does is it helps you to create a compelling future. And so there's an exercise in visualizations that Tony Robbins did, and I saw a long time ago that's very powerful. And what he does is he takes somebody and he tells the people to close their eyes and just visualize. The exercise is visualizing. It's a body strength test. And what he does is he tells people to put their feet planted on the ground and stick their arms straight out in front of them. And if you want, you can do it right now. It's a really great exercise. And turn your body all the way around as far as you can and keep your fingers straight and see where you point, what object in the room you point to. Now go back and what you do is you close your eyes and you visualize your arm going out and you feel it, and you just visualize turning all the way around the room and see if you can go further and further and further and almost see if you can be like an owl and do a 360. And then what you do is you open your eyes and you try the exercise again, and amazingly, you outstretch yourself and you push yourself almost 20 to 30% further than you did the first time. And this exercise and visualization shows that 1 minute of visualization and focus has the energy power of 10 minutes of action. So this is something that changing your state can do. When you have an insurmountable problem, you can just spend some time being positive and training yourself to overcome it, writing out these possible solutions and then getting out of the way. Step number 3, you got to know what you really want. Recently I talked about on this call having a clear, concise mental picture. And you got to be honest with yourself. The difference between really successful people and you is they know what they really want. So what are your goals? Write it out. Spend some time reflecting on your why and write out what makes you happy. And identify your key skill sets that you're really good at. Write down, the things that help you identify your purpose. There's several books that you can read, but there's been many times in my life where I've been struggling. It's because I didn't have a clear vision. I didn't know what my purpose was. I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I just went from sales job to sales job, and it makes it difficult to see myself going anywhere if I don't really know what I want to be or if I don't see myself being useful in that career. So that's something that I think is really important, is to know what you want and go back on that quarterly. If not, a lot of people have vision boards. That's a really great thing that you can do, is to create things that inspire you and put it on a dream board and look at it every single day. And step number 4 is you got to allow it into your life. So to create inspiration and momentum, you must believe that you're capable of achieving greatness. And whatever you've decided that you really want in your life, you must believe it completely. So speaking that into existence, writing it out, sending it in emails, speaking it to your spouse, and stay focused on the end result. So one story I want to tell you guys, Kevin joined in on this call, and Eric tells us the story about how Kevin created a manufactured why. And his goal was to pay off his mortgage. And during that time that he had that goal, he nearly doubled his income in real estate sales. And so having a manufactured why, something to a pin right in front of you that you can knock down, that every single day that can keep you going, keep you blitzing, is important to achieving greatness in your life. And the next step to creating inspiration is gratitude. And I can't overemphasize the relationship in gratitude and success, but it's an absolute for me. So I have a gratitude journal, and I don't write in it daily, but what I do is I call in, or I'm sorry, there's for the last 45 days, a guy I follow on YouTube, Evan Carmichael. You definitely need to look him up. He has #BelieveNation, and he does 3 things he's grateful for every day. And starting my day off on that and listening to things that other people are grateful for and journaling it myself keeps me in the mindset of inspiration. And likewise, on days that I don't have gratitude in my life, I focus on fear and negative things, and this has the opposite effect. So those are some things that you can do to inspire yourself. It's the Thanksgiving season. It's a really good time to journal what you're grateful for. And the last step is you got to take action in the face of resistance. So go back and read your mission statement, your clear, concise mental picture. Visualize how it will feel to accomplish your destiny. And if you get in the habit of doing this daily, you'll find yourself in stride. A really good analogy is riding a bicycle. And when you get on a bike and you start trekking up a mountain or on a 10 or 20 mile bike ride, the first mile is always the hardest. You're gaining momentum. And once you get going, it all flows. It's your body adapts, and you've definitely once you've started going, it's hard to go back. So that's what creating momentum in your life looks like to me, is riding a bike. And you got to get on your bike. But, also, as a Boy Scout, you have to be prepared. You got to be prepared for the inevitable setbacks. And that's one thing that having this call, having our Eric Loff Home community, what it does for us is it gives us the tools to overcome different issues. So I really appreciate the time and sharing this information with you guys. You guys have been a blessing to me, and I hope you have an outstanding Friday, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend. Bye.